Hello and welcome back, once again, to the massive YouTube Iceberg. Today we're going to be doing the first half of Tier 11, which is the third to last tier of the entire Iceberg, and this is also the third to last video, too. Before I started this series, I've heard of maybe one of the entries on this entire tier, and I'm like a pretty avid weird side of YouTube peruser, so that just kind of goes to show you what we're working with. According to the chart, this is the God tier of the Iceberg. People who fit into this tier might as well be an entire freaking walking library. And yeah, if you know at least 40% of the things on this tier, I kind of question your humanity. Anyways, thank you to all my Patreon supporters like Hollowed, 80 Constant, Original But Unfunny, Bagus of Swaggus, The Mungler, Shroomish, The Biggest of Men, Toyminator 900, Snail Demon, Venus Scarf, and Salute to the Lost. Without further ado, let's get started with Tier 11. Wow. The real Thomas the Train Man is an entry I've been eyeing since I started the Iceberg. Or I guess in a more accurate sense, it's been eyeing me. This weird, fleshy Thomas the Tank Engine has been occupying the sidebar image for this tier. It's been taunting me, saying I'm never gonna finish this series or get this far. Well, guess what, bitch? Anyways, the thumbnail, title, and the description for this video pretty much tell you everything you need to know. A human face on a train was just the beginning in this cruel experiment. Witness the agony of a train made entirely of flesh. The basic concept is, what if Thomas was actually just a human who had some all tomorrow's type genetic modifications to be a living, talking, and breathing train? And in this video, he's in constant agony from trying to move forward, and the camera even focuses on all his various body parts, including the chimney being replaced with a nipple, and a close-up view on what appears to be his asshole leaking piss, or oil, you can be the judge of that. Finally, all of his intestines fall out at the end, and the video ends there. Doofenshmirtz 2 nickels image for entries on this Iceberg that have to do with Thomas the Tank Engine originally being a human turned into a grotesque body horror monster. I don't feel like saying the full thing. This was uploaded by a New Zealand animator called Wade Cohen in 2016, who only has one other video on his channel, which is the title sequence to Deathgasm, a comedy horror film released in 2015. His digital footprint is pretty small, but on his older channel we can find a video called Fistful of Crime, an animation by the Avatards, which is pretty cool looking.
This is much more like it. Can you repeat that for the record? Oh, I punched him.
One last thing I'd like to say before moving on is that the real Thomas the Train Man's top comment is from Vinny Vinesauce, and it just reads, okay. Pretty accurate response. I'm So Happy.gif is a video featuring this weird smiley face with realistic eyes and lips. It smiles at you for a little bit, and then it gets pissed, and creepy and horrific images would flash on screen before the text appearing saying, "Have a nice day." Apparently this video is based off a really short creepypasta where you would find a GIF that would do all this, and then your computer would close out of the browser. And then shortly after, you would be found in your home, skinned and mutilated, with a smiley face painted in blood on the floor next to your corpse. Then they name drop Moot, the creator of 4chan, saying that he banned the GIF from ever being posted. It's yet another overly edgy creepypasta made by a 14-year-old. We Kept Driving is a creepypasta about a supposed video of the same name, which depicts a man driving down a lonely road late at night in the rain. Apparently, though, the actual video was meant to bait the viewer into listening to the audio, which is supposedly designed with malicious intent. It's a droning noise coupled with a man speaking to the viewer in Russian, and supposedly if you watch the video enough times, weird shit will start to happen, like the video changing size, the picture blurring, etc., etc. You'll also get nosebleeds, headaches, depression, paranoia, and hallucinations of a strange figure appearing in your peripheral vision. This video is what I thought to be a recreation of the supposedly cursed video from the story, but it actually predates the story by a couple months, so the creepypasta was made surrounding the video. It's always a chicken and egg game with these kinds of entries. Someone is at the window, 3 AM, is a video originally featured in Shrouded Hand's PetiteTube video, where he showcased several low-view videos he found on PetiteTube. This video in particular was deleted by the person who uploaded it, but Shrouded Hand took it upon himself to re-upload it for everyone to see. The video's audio is of someone frantically knocking on a door and trying to open it. It then zooms in, and I think this is supposed to be a person or figure of some kind, but you just can't really make it out. Shrouded Hand also put annotations on this video that led to a now privated video. By the way, do you know there's a Chrome extension to restore annotations? It's literally called Annotations Restored for YouTube. It's pretty cool. Anyways, the privated video from the annotation can be found by going through the Wayback Machine, and it's been archived exactly once. The video is literally just the same video, and it was also uploaded by Shrouded Hand, except he added a screamer at the end, and I honestly can't believe this one actually got me in 2024. God damn it. Anyways, yeah, not much info on who made the original video, and it's obviously been lost to time by now since he re-uploaded it, so yeah. He didn't even credit the original uploader in the description, which I guess isn't really a huge deal, all things considered. Works of Jack Fields is a YouTube channel that has now been renamed to The Mind Potato Factory, and it's run by the aforementioned Jack Fields and Melissa Jane Ward. The most popular videos on this channel center around Godric, this giant talking puppet of an eldritch abomination. He seems like a pretty chill guy, though.
A Teletubby with a shotgun. Did any of you create the Teletubby with the shotgun? I am here at Bazaar Botanica with the most incredible artwork of all time.
Interestingly, the most popular video on the channel with a whopping 34,000 views doesn't even actually feature Godric, who seems to be the main character of the channel. This video, Jumping, features this bird-type character, and it's pretty unsettling. What's cool about this channel is that it actually still uploads with the Godric character debuting in 2009, and them still using the character as recently as 2023. Pretty cool stuff. At first glance, DariaHuie is an Australian YouTuber who seems to be the stand-in representative on this Iceberg for the printer photocopier community on YouTube. Although, upon closer inspection, that's far too simple of an explanation for what this channel actually is. Basically, she has over 14,000 videos on her channel, and almost all of them consist of her doing things with photocopiers. Most of them are just her going into some photocopying place, or the one she has in her bedroom, and putting random objects in it just to see what happens. But what caught the attention of the internet was that she had videos where she would photocopy her face, hands, arms, and even breasts. In most of these videos, at least the one where she's in her bedroom, she's dressed very skimpily, enough to have some of them age restricted by YouTube. Apparently in one of her videos, which has now been deleted, she explains that it's somewhat of a sexual thing for her, and that photocopy machines are her fetish. She apparently says in this video, "My life has been machinery, and it's also been hatred. And throughout my life, machines have molded the way I think. It's like everything. It's beautiful now. It's got completeness in it now. It's like this is the final stage in my mechanoid evolution." So I guess she has some kind of delusion about herself being part photocopier. In a couple of videos, she even tries to mate with the machines. Hell, I'm not entirely convinced that the whole pressing her boobs up against it isn't an attempt in and of itself. Another thing about this channel is that she makes constant references to a certain Luigi B. No one can really tell who this is or if they're even a real person in the first place, but she talks about how he really misses her and that she's declared him a missing person. There are a lot of answers for who Luigi B is. Maybe an ex-boyfriend, maybe someone she's stalking, maybe he's a person that doesn't exist entirely and she just made him up in her head. And of course, there's always the possibility that Luigi B is what she calls her photocopy machine. Despite all of this, she seems pretty harmless. I mean, sometimes she does her photocopier shit in public and gets yelled at by staff, but at the end of the day, she's just a middle-aged woman with Asperger's, and probably some other stuff too, I don't know. But she doesn't seem to have a very strong grasp on reality, and all this stuff she says feels pretty hard to parse. She still uploads to this day, with her most recent video being 3 months old as of writing this script. Whenever the title has .avy or .wmv, you know shit is gonna get real. That's a comment on this video I just thought was funny. This is another creepypasta entry, although this one comes from some country. I don't know, I found this creepypasta in both Italian and Portuguese off of Google search, and not in English, so I'm assuming it's either Italian or Brazilian, or Portuguese. And the video itself has Russian text. Anyways, the basic plot is that these 3 teenagers found a VHS tape and they put it on, and it's this hypnotized video. After watching the video, 2 of the boys took their own lives, and the other boy donated the video to a paranormal research team, and then took his own life. Yep, that sounds like a YouTube lost video creepypasta, alright. Moving on. The 2011 Slovenian YouTube incident kinda sounds like a randomly generated entry. Like, if I was making a YouTube iceberg chart and I wanted to include some dumb, made-up shit that would make people go crazy trying to research it, it would definitely be something along these lines. However, it is actually a real thing, with the name being given to a Wikipedia article and nothing else. According to Wikipedia, the 2011 Slovenian YouTube incident was the publication of 3 clips of the recordings of closed sessions of the government of Slovenia. These are posted to YouTube under the title... Damn, you guys don't even got the Google Translate voiceover button. That kinda sucks. They were posted to YouTube under the title Old Faces, uploaded by a mysterious channel of the same name. Now, these were very confidential government meetings, stored on DVDs and locked in a big safe in some Slovenian government building. Now, what was actually discussed in these videos? First video, they were discussing the wages of judges. Second video was discussing the Slovenian government's efforts to block neighboring country Croatia's entry into the European Union. Finally, the last video included talks about acquiring water cannons and giving them to the Slovenian police. These meetings were held in 2009, though obviously they wouldn't come to YouTube until 2011, conveniently just before Slovenia's parliamentary elections, which led most to believe that these were leaked for political motives, mainly to paint officials unfavorably. Some even alleged that the videos were cut up and taken out of context. These videos were obviously taken down from YouTube as soon as they were posted, but that didn't stop it from getting significant media attention in the country. A long investigation was launched to find the identity of the perpetrator of the leak, but long story short, they were never found. And I suppose the whole thing just kinda faded into obscurity. Unless you live in Slovenia, I guess. Daily Bleep is apparently the most cryptic channel on YouTube. The story starts for this one on r/internet mysteries in 2020, where Reddit user Panthers on Reddit discovers a channel called Daily Bleep. The channel has around 18,000 uploads, all uploaded in the span of a year between 2014 to 2015. The videos themselves are very strange, all being well under a minute, and feature slideshows of random images. The audio, of course, is a bleeping noise. The titles are random messes of hex characters, and the description is always, "What is some random thing?" followed by credits for the creators of the images. And that's pretty much it. Some Redditors in the comments discussed the possibility that this could be an ARG, which seems very unlikely since most ARGs don't have thousands of uploads like this. People also found out that one of the videos credits Tom Edgington, who is also the name of this YouTube account that apparently had this phone number that would convince people to take their own life. Not only is Tom Edgington just a normal name that someone would have, but that story also comes from this fucker, so it's safe to say that that has nothing to do with this. It's pretty obvious to me that this channel is some kind of a bot, maybe like Global Worldwide and the other channels like it. Sadly, Daily Bleep no longer exists on YouTube, and no one archived it, so I can't exactly show you one of these videos, and we'll probably never know what it was truly for. cclemon is a channel ran by a presumably Japanese woman, judging from some of these video titles, that was mainly active between 2008 and 2010. She seems to really like face masks, wearing them in every video. And these face masks are just really creepy. There's not really a whole much more to be said about this channel, as I couldn't find any more information about who the woman is, so I guess I'm moving on. Taper8097 =symbol.bsp.wmv is a video by Slacking Stacker uploaded in 2011. That's a recording of a Half-Life 2 map that was related to the Found on the Tape ARG. Not really a whole lot to say here. I already covered that ARG like 50 bajillion parts ago. But what's funny to me about this one is that the uploader seems mad in the description because someone, namely a quote-unquote retarded-ass kid named Number400, tried to make a creepypasta out of this video, even though the video is not intended to be a creepypasta. He also apparently has been accused of claiming this as an Easter egg in the game, which he clearly never said in the video. I don't know, it's just kind of a funny early YouTube thing to happen. Effects of Male Dominance is one of the few entries on this Iceberg who is a person from the best state in the country. Anyways, this channel is no longer active and was only really active in late 2013 and early 2014. The channel's main content focused around this woman walking around Boston, Massachusetts, as well as surrounding areas like Cambridge and Braintree, and ranting about, well, the effects of male dominance. And by that, I mean, she interprets a lot of random things as perpetuating the patriarchy and rape culture and stuff like that. I'll list some examples. In February 2014, she uploaded the video filming her computer screen after a Google search for Google Maps. One of the things that comes up is Google Maps' most recent post at Google+, which is celebrating the website's 9th anniversary. She doesn't take very kindly to this, and doesn't do a very good job of explaining why.
Yeah, all I want to do is try to get directions for somewhere that I have to be tomorrow. You know, and then there's this. It's just totally hateful all the time. It's all of the time, right? I mean, it's just, it's gang rape. It's gang rape, and they couldn't care less. They couldn't care less, right? I don't even know how many times I've said no. I don't even know how many times I've said it's sexual assault. It is sexual assault, right? It's rape culture. Look at how horrible they are. You know?
Another video uploaded in March 2014, she describes how her public bus driver coughed at her, and she saw that as a display of dominance and harassment. Another video, she seems to be claiming that someone yelled at her the words, "You're dirty, let's see your vagina." But you actually watch the video and it's 9 seconds of her filming nothing. Another video, which actually went viral, shows her walking up to a postman who was just trying to do his job and accusing him of stalking her.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
About what?
Don't ever stalk me again.
Who's stalking you about
You. Laugh some more. Do it.
You're crazy.
Finally, one last video, which is possibly the most egregious video on her channel, is one where she sees these orange construction poles, like, you know, the ones you often find in, like, parking lots. She says that they're, of course, declarations of male dominance.
This place has got like all these orange. Someone has put these all here. Someone's put like all of these orange. You gotta be kidding. It's just like this declaration, right, of male dominance. Stop doing this stuff. Enough. Stop.
She even goes as far to say that if these were instead Ku Klux Klan hats littered around the parking lot, everyone would have issues with it. So she sees no reason why the orange poles are okay.
What if these were all like Ku Klux Klan hats, you know, or something that was meant to mean that? You know, would the president have let it just continue like this for years? Look at them.
Now, back in 2014, which is when the Reddit anti-social justice warrior movement was in full force, this woman got ridiculed to hell and back, being called a crazy, insane feminazi and whatnot. Although looking back on it, this woman is very clearly schizophrenic. Like, this is like textbook schizophrenia. So people were just kind of, you know, making fun of a woman for being mentally ill on such a massive scale too. There were tons of commentary videos done by Leafy clones on this woman, and from what I can gather, she stopped uploading around the time her videos started getting notice. It kind of sucks, doesn't it? Back then, videos like these just made the entire side of the political spectrum look like they all get mad at orange polls for no reason. When I myself first saw this video way back when, I was like 13 or something, so I didn't really fully understand what mental illness was yet. So I was like, what the fuck? Why does she hate males so much? I didn't do anything. I'm just a little boy. It's just kind of a shitty situation all around. Butterflies.flv is an obscure creepypasta video about how this guy found a CD at a thrift store for free. He loaded it up and this video plays. It's another lost video found on a physical format in a random place story, but I think this one is at least more visually interesting than a lot of others like it. The most interesting part about this, though, is that this video is actually a re-upload, and the original uploader, Dissonance Engineer, is in the comments section. Don't know if you check this channel anymore, man, but I'm actually the maker of this video. It was around 14 years ago, I believe. It was originally part of a 32-part horror series I made with a friend, but thanks to 3 consecutive hard drive crashes, only a handful of those videos remain. I'm trying to see if any of our other videos were archived or downloaded by anyone. If you have any info on where you found this, or if you know of any other videos saved from that series, I would love to know. It's bothered me for over a decade now. Thanks for uploading this and keeping it alive. He also reiterates that the project was called The Broken Tape 1181. I think that's a pretty neat aspect of the story. The guy who made it can't even find all the parts to the series. That's the kind of thing I like covering in this series because shining a light on it might mean that someone finds it for him. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Kot L1 V3, or like Kot Live maybe, is a channel created in 2015, and I think it's meant to be an attempt at an ARG. What the fuck? More ARGs should be like this. I fuck with this heavy. Test.m4v is a video uploaded by Robbie Is Not Cool in 2018.
Hey there.
Dark Luigi is, believe it or not, a channel I've actually heard of before. It's a strange Smash Bros. Themed channel created in 2018, a few months before Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was released, and their profile picture and banner is this inverse colored picture of Luigi. Every 30 minutes on the dot, this channel uploads a video that's exactly 31 seconds long. The title of the video is always some random combination of Smash Bros. Jargon that doesn't ever mean anything or have anything to do with the actual contents of the video. Like, for example, boat emoji, disjointed hitbox Rob on Unova Pokemon League fighting on PictoChat Wii actually is just a video of a Lincoln villager fighting on Corneria. The footage used is always some random Smash Bros. Video pulled from YouTube, it seems like. There's definitely a huge variety of games here. I mean, you got Ultimate videos, Melee, Brawl, the shitty one, 64, and even shit like Smash 64 Remix, and Super Smash Land, and Rocket League. You might notice on the bottom of all these videos there are subtitles of Smash Bros. Characters talking to each other. These seem to be random excerpts from the Subspace Emissaries World Conquest by Aura Channeler Chris, which is a Brawl fanfiction that a few years ago got a lot of publicity for being around 4 million words long, making it, at the time, the longest single piece of literature ever written by human hands. Nowadays, the title has been taken by this schmuck, James Dean 5842 and his 16 million word long Loud House self-insert fanfiction that's also a crossover with every piece of media ever made. Which, like, he only earned by copy-pasting fandom wiki articles and listing absurd amounts of character names every 3 seconds. Fuck this guy. He just made this shit to one-up the Subspace one, I feel like. And also to make Lincoln Loud have sex with Glamrock Chica for some reason. Every Dark Luigi video also has this music in the background that I think is algorithmically generated. Or at least that's what it sounds like. Now, to my knowledge, there's not any public information about who runs this channel or why they're doing it. Top Smash player Zero made a video on it back in the day, but he didn't really do a whole lot of research about it, and also he asks little girls to shove ice cubes in their vaginas. The channel has over 100,000 videos at this point, and is almost certainly run by a bot, but the reason for the bot's existence is completely unknown. Maybe it's just to fuck with people, I don't know. That seems like the most likely explanation. I'm surprised that over the years this channel never got taken down by YouTube though. Like, this is so very obviously spam, which is a violation of terms of service, and that's why other similar channels like Unfavorable Semicircle have been taken down. And it still uploads to this day too. Maybe YouTube just decided it was funny and kept it. Am I a Man or a Worm? Is a video uploaded in 2013 by a Chunky M. It's a song sung by this worm character pondering the nature of his existence.
Am I a monster or am I a demon? Where are my legs? Where is my head? How did I get here? What have I become? Where is my dad? Where is my mom?
This video is an r/deep into YouTube classic. The channel is one that occasionally uploads and posts videos pretty similar to the one you just watched. After skimming through Chunky M's content, I also happen to like Do the Crow and Our Secret Love. Why can't a man love a fox?
Eyes and wishful thinking, all my dreams came true when I met you.
It's a secret love.
Pretty soulful old YouTube right there, if I do say so myself. Unknown Video File, sometimes known as Handsome Brian's Carboidal Dish.avy, is a video uploaded in 2006 by McB Pete. It starts with about 3 seconds of what seems to be a home video before devolving into complete insanity. It's another one of those creepypasta videos that have near unintelligible editing in order to creep you out, but honestly, I think this is one of the more well done ones. Maybe it's just because it's so old, but I could see myself genuinely being unsettled by this. Just because it's meant to be scary doesn't mean I necessarily dislike it. Maybe that's just bias coming from the fact that this video is old enough to vote, though. There's even a creepypasta story written about this one, and... okay, well I guess there fucking isn't, my bad. Yeah, apparently this story got deleted from the creepypasta wiki, seemingly by the mods for housekeeping. Come the fuck on, dude. Granted, from the short preview this log gives us, the story doesn't sound super inspiring. This video was found inside a zip file on a disk from a bunch of apparently blank CDR disks. He found the file in a batch of CDRs he bought from a car boot sale. Like, yeah, I can tell the entire plot of the story from that short excerpt, and honestly, makes me like the video a little less, but removing things from the creepypasta wiki for being too shitty? I didn't know the creepypasta wiki, a fandom wiki with over 13,000 pages, suddenly had high standards for story creation. Like, it seems somewhat competently written and not just a 4-year-old face rolling on the keyboard. I don't see why this was removed, and if I was the original author, I'd be kinda pissed that they would refuse to archive it like that, but whatever. 1261265512, also known as James Webb, is a strange YouTube channel that's been around since 2010. From what I can tell, they just kinda post sorting algorithms. That's what it looks like from their thumbnails, but when you click on the video, it doesn't even do the cool visual thing, and the sounds are all but when on a real sorting algorithm, they're more like I don't really know what this channel is going for. The descriptions all have binary code and shit. It's pretty clear that the channel isn't exclusively run by a robot, or else I would be saying it has some ridiculous number of videos when in reality only has around 500, a pretty reasonable amount for an almost 15-year-old channel. Maybe this one is trying to be an ARG or something, I don't fucking know, I'm just throwing out ideas. Creepy Radio Broadcast is a video that no longer exists, and the only known archive of it exists within Shrouded Hand's 5 horrifying unexplainable audio recordings video. He explains that this comes from a Reddit post of someone who claims to have been flicking through random radio stations while working the night shift as a security guard. It was then that he came across this mysterious recording. So, real or fake? I don't fucking know. There's these two women talking that sound pretty much indiscernible. I can't make out a single thing they're saying, which is probably intentional. The audio sounds like it could possibly be from some old obscure movie, but again, who knows? My bet is that it's just a spooky story, but still it is a fun one. The idea of random creepy shit being able to be found by just flipping through radio stations was an idea that always intrigued me, especially since I don't know enough about radio stations to know if it's even possible that some random person could just broadcast whatever they want if they manage to get their hands on the technology. George Alfred Sodini, also known as his YouTube channel, a bunch of fucking random numbers and letters, was a 48-year-old computer analyst who had a YouTube channel with 2 videos on it that are surprisingly still up. The reason why it's surprising is that he was actually the perpetrator of the 2009 LA fitness shooting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He went to the gym late at night and shot up a women's dance class with 2 pistols, killing 4 people and then himself. Now, surprisingly, I've already talked about Sodini before, back in the True Forced Loneliness segment of Tier 9. Well, not directly, but I did mention how many TFLers sympathized with and even idolized incel mass shooters. George Sodini, despite most likely never even knowing the word incel, and definitely not the phrase True Forced Loneliness, shared a lot of traits with that community. Not so much on his YouTube channel, but rather his blog, where he would get into rants about how women have wronged him. He was, again, 48 years old, and he hadn't had sex in 19 years or a girlfriend in 25, and as a result, he would often switch between blaming it on women and blaming it on himself. He estimated that there were 30 million desirable women in the United States, and he lamented the fact that he couldn't find one. I'm kinda surprised that incels would idolize him, given that information, since dating or having sex at all in his entire life would technically make him a quote-unquote fake cell, but maybe, you know, murdering women makes up for that shortcoming to them, I don't know. Something worth noting is that George Sodini actually attended dating classes taught by Ardon Steele. Hardon Steele. Who was like this Andrew Tate kind of guy, but for baby boomers and Gen Xers. There's even footage of the classes Sodini attended still up on YouTube. Man, I wonder how Hardon felt after the news that one of his former students would commit a mass shooting. The same student he told to stop being nice to women, or else they'll see you as a big booger.
I would say that's the problem with most of the guys in the room, that you're too nice. Women don't like that, they don't respect it. It's about as arousing as a booger.
No matter the case, incels and TFLers seem to think of this guy as the OG and someone to look up to, in a similar way to how they see Elliot Rodger. Throughout all of this, I'm kind of surprised YouTube left Sodini's channel up. Like, this definitely seems like the kind of thing they'd get rid of at some point, even though the actual contents of the videos aren't anything necessarily inflammatory. It's just kind of the stuff he did after that was shitty. New show.wmv, uploaded in 2012 by You Ate My Pizza 2, is another video that was apparently found in a USB drive somewhere, and Jesus, man, what the fuck? This whole video is silent except for this loud beeping noise that plays halfway into the video. Fucking dick. This video also has a creepypasta wiki attached to it, and come on, again? Listen, I'm trying my hardest with these creepypasta entries, but they're really not giving me a whole lot to work with. Idoko is a video of a skeleton dancing. This seems to be a re-upload of the video, but I couldn't really find the original upload. For something that's supposedly 99% of its way to becoming a viral video, no one seems to be talking about it. When I search this video up, I also get results for the Dame2 Cosita alien, which makes sense in my head. Maybe these videos have similar origins, I don't know. What you just listened to is wormparty.ogg, which was an audio file that, according to a Russian creepypasta, was found on the computer of a deceased programmer. When listened to, it'll make you go insane and shit, falling to the floor, clutching your stomach, and then it'll make you think you got worms in your body. Yeah, whatever. See, this is what I mean. Why was this story allowed to stay on the wiki while the Handsome Brian story had to go? I think that's kinda silly. Spicy Ham is a random low subscriber count channel that was created all the way back in 2007. Now, when researching for this channel, the first thing I came across is this channel, which is also called Spicy Ham, but capitalized differently. The main thing they do is Terraria animations, and it's clearly not what this Iceberg is talking about. Rather, it's talking about this other channel, and this Spicy Ham is definitely a weird one. He's uploaded just shy of 3,000 videos, admittedly a lot of which are just no commentary gameplay videos, like every time he gets play of the game in Overwatch, he posts it to YouTube. Some of these Overwatch videos have somewhat strange titles though. The bulk of middle class doesn't deserve better. I didn't say that, man, don't look at me. The best American president we can have is a president that represents the ideals and values of the people. I guess he's just giving socio-political commentary in the titles of his plays of the game. Like, I don't know, when I click on a video called "Some US government officials and statesmen are pretending are with Jesus and farming some citizens," I don't exactly think, play of the game. But whatever, that's not the most interesting thing about this channel. Going back a little further in the history of Spicy Ham, his most popular video that isn't some kind of gameplay footage is Video 1777, where he sits in front of a camera and talks to us about something?
Aggression must stop. Passive aggression must end. There's a whole lot of passive aggression, especially in my generation. There simply is too many passive aggressors. They're like the other filth, disability humanoids are exploiting time that Hitler is not around. They're exploiting a Hitlerless time.
Something about passive-aggressive people and exploiting a Hitlerless time. I can tell he's trying to be some kind of smart political commentary guy, but he needs to speak up or something. Even strangers at the comment section seems to only be filled with people just like posting the date in Spanish. The video's not even in Spanish. Another video he has uploaded would be Republic of Spicy Ham. This video is a silent 7 seconds of an MS Paint drawing with this flesh sphere sitting in a dirt road. I assume this is supposed to be the flag of the Republic of Spicy Ham, which is probably his like nation states micronation kind of thing. No hate there, but you look in the comment section and he's kind of just posting random shit. Strength, agility, endurance, spirit, royalty. One swift grab, all rats in my hands, strangle toss them to cells. Yummy, yummy, things so money. This channel was originally discovered by the commentary YouTuber Just a Robot and his why the fuck does he look like that? Why does he look like that? For some reason in this video he refers to Spicy Ham as a lol cow.
We have seen what happens when lol cows get attacked. They tend to become even worse than they were before. So I want to test out a different strategy with dealing with a lol cow. All that being said, this dude still is a lol cow, and I think I might be the first person to actually talk about him.
Then he's not a lol cow yet. Also, why do you look like that? Lol cow implies that they're easily milked for laughs, hence the name, but Spicy Ham just kinda keeps to himself and actually received very little attention before this video. I mean, obviously he still receives very little attention. This wasn't the most popular Just a Robot video by any means, and the channel's in tier 11 for a reason, but he's just kind of a internet eccentric, which isn't the same thing as a lolcow, unless you make it the same thing by calling attention to the person and having trolls swarm them with harassment. Which, of course, in Just a Kitten's defense, is not actually what he did, and instead he just called people to swarm his channel and be nice to him instead. Which it seems like people did, so, happy ending, I guess. Face is apparently this video. According to Potted Plant, as he writes on the Google Doc for this video, CreepyPasta Archives Face 1, the title isn't the same, but it's basically the same video. Sucks that it isn't the original upload, but Jesus Christ, the title is a common 4-letter word, and it's all the way down here in tier 11. I am not finding that shit. Anyways, this is a pretty competent, creepy video, presumably from the early days of YouTube. One of the 2 comments on this video marks that this is from username 666, which, while this video is not in that video, I could definitely see this being made by Pirapito, the person who made username 666. So, fuck it, I'll take their word for it. MVI1933.mp4, also known as the Radiator Creature video, is another video discovered by Shrouded Hand in his Petite Tube video. It's 3 minutes of this guy slowly walking out to his radiator and pointing it down the tube things in the back. He seems to claim that there's a creature living under his radiator, but god damn does he take his time to get there and focus his camera. Finally, at the end of the video, he focuses his camera and, well... My favorite part about this video is the fucking Captain Disillusions in his comment section trying to prove it wrong. This could have been easily faked. Not saying it is, but the sound effect, such as the scream, are of a much higher quality than the overall camera mic audio. That's not possible. An animal that large can't squeeze in there. And the radiator has no part in making a large hole in the wall. Plus, how would he get in? Fake! Edit. He also could have edited the monkey sounds in. Wait, what? Really? The monkey sounds are edited in? Oh my god. I'm gonna need a minute to think about this. Shier.Avy is a video first uploaded to YouTube in 2011 by YouTube user 1CDTO, although apparently originates from an old site called Meta Cafe. This one's kinda awesome because it's just some Russian dude filming his room with a shaky camera while a really loud BitCrush noise plays. This is supposed to be passed off as creepy. According to the uploader, the footage was found on a broken camera in an old house, and the man who filmed, who was visiting in order to buy the house, was found dead on the floor of the downstairs bathroom, body mutilated and then burned, and nobody gave a shit, not even his family. Body gets tossed into a river, no funeral, yada yada yada, and apparently the act was committed by Shakazar Chivier, the original owner of the house, who is standing in the hallway of the video. The story's whatever. I just like that the guy filmed a shaky, compressed video and passed off as horror. People get scared by anything back in the day. Oh boy. 3DERXB_5U CGI is a video uploaded by Night Factor Films in 2014. That's literally it. It's just that for 2 minutes. It's pretty peak. On his channel, there's a lot of other animations, which are also pretty cool. Muddy Matt 81 seems to be the stand-in representative on this Iceberg for the mud and quicksand community on YouTube. Did you know that this community exists? Because I definitely did not. But, you know, I do love learning new things and expanding my knowledge. Basically, what this guy does in every single video is he goes into some big pit of mud and just, like, hangs out there. He bathes in it, he lets himself sink in, and he does it all while wearing clothes. Like, I'm not exactly saying I want him to be naked, but, like, he still has his socks on when he does this. Like, I don't know. If I wanted to, for whatever reason, bathe in mud, I'd probably wear some, like, swimwear, right? Or at least, like, strip down to my underwear. I'm, of course, basing this off the times I've sunk my body in water, so maybe the rules are different for mud. Maybe mud has, like, a lot of bacteria in it, so you need to protect yourself. But then again, if there's so much bacteria, why do it in the first place? Well, this channel was discovered on r/deep into YouTube by Reddit user Darth Marsupial, and they suggest that based on Muddy Matt's reactions, they think that it's sexual. Ugh, yeah, that's a fair assessment, I think. Creamy quarry mud. Yeah, I think I get it. Would love to join you for some fun. I said I get it. God. Yeah, there's actually quite the audience for this kind of thing on YouTube and the greater internet as a whole. Something about sinking in quicksand and mud and getting dirty is just super arousing to these people. I can't exactly say I get it. Maybe they watched, I don't know, the Princess Bride when they were little, and when the quicksand scene came on, they realized they felt weird and had to use the bathroom, but I don't know. I guess there's definitely an element of helplessness to it, but Muddy Matt isn't really helpless. He, like, submerges himself in that shit. Sometimes he even starts swimming in it. I mean, every video he's in a different mud puddle. I don't think it would be the hardest thing to create for yourself in your own backyard, but why does it have to be a different location every single time? Like, he definitely goes out of his way to search for these some way. I don't really think mud puddles show up on Google Maps or Yelp, so I don't really know how he's searching for them. There's a whole industry dedicated to making quicksand fetish videos beyond this, and even some companies who you can pay to have the full quicksand experience yourself. There's a whole 20-minute Vice documentary uploaded about it back in 2015. Pretty crazy stuff. Other channels that do this stuff are PXE who seems to have unlisted his videos, Cyan Stain, who tags their videos like a fucking porn site, and of course Boggy Doggy, who wears one of these BDSM dog masks in every video. Ironically, this is a pretty good idea, albeit not for the reasons this guy is doing it. None of the people in the other channels wear any kind of facial protection while going mud diving, which I imagine is pretty unsafe and would probably lead to infections of some kind. So yeah, good for you, Boggy Doggy. Imagine if you died from this shit. Like, in cartoons and movies, you'd be led to believe that quicksand is like a big issue that people die from all the time, but it's actually pretty much impossible to sink to the bottom and suffocate because quicksand is denser than the human body, so only part of your body sinks. But if you lay your body flat, then intentionally stick your head under the soil, I mean, maybe you could die from that. I don't know. You wanna know the worst part? This isn't even the worst brown thing that someone submerges themselves in this iceberg. Jack Deaney, better known online as World Around You, spelled like you as in female she.
Alright, so if you want to find out how I got into making rats into pencil cases with pencil sharp, it's no sleight of the hand, that's a real pencil sharpener up the rat's arsehole.
Jesus, that was his channel trailer, by the way. First thing you see when you click on his channel. He even made a close-up of it, his banner. Honestly, respect. Anyways, yeah, this guy is kind of awesome. His main hobby and what his content focuses around is taxidermy, more specifically, bad taxidermy, as he puts it. Turning rats into pencil sharpeners, wallets, a barbecue. This is like some All Tomorrow's level body horror, honestly. Wait, I already used that comparison in this video. This is some Thomas the Train Man level body horror, honestly. Not a whole lot to say about this channel, but go check it out if you're interested. I already heard you was the last video on this iceberg that comes from RainBots' Petite Tube video. Yeah, we've been through all 5 videos mentioned in this video. It's kind of interesting, I guess. The video was only 26 seconds and was uploaded in 2015 by Corner Fellas. Now, I think this video was supposed to be a creepypasta type thing, but it's so laughably amateur. all he does is zoom in on this toy duck he has in his cabinet, right under his fucking golf wing dust bag, and then there's a couple images of him with iMovie transitions. What was this all meant to convey? Who knows? Some people actually got creeped out by this in the comment section, so that's pretty funny. The Eliso tape is... Why the fuck is the cat from Bolt there? This is a creepypasta about a Boy Scout and his friends in the late 1990s when they were around 13 years old. Apparently they came across a house that had been abandoned for like 20 years, and they found a tape that looked as if it had been made in the 1990s. Which, if the story takes place in the 90s like it says it is, would mean that it's a modern tape. Did they just forget what time period they were writing about? I don't know. The tape had some creepy shit on it. He took therapy for years, and eventually his brother dug it up from the attic, saying he was going to use the footage from it to make a video he would call Obey the Walrus. Okay, what the fuck? Did he know that the guy who made the original Obey the Walrus video was like a real guy? Actually, probably not. Anyways, the story ends with an upload of the full footage that was on the VHS tape. And yeah, it's another pretty amateur attempt at a creepy lost tape. Footage is spliced from some children's singing recital, whatever this is, and of course the goddess bunny, also known as the woman from Obey the Walrus. I don't even know why this story is tied into the Obey the Walrus thing. Like, it could easily stand on its own. They definitely got weird enough videos to throw in. Why include this shit at the end? We've already fucking seen this. At least this one is transparent about being an Obey the Walrus clone, I guess. BHFS is actually the name of two short videos that could equally qualify for this iceberg, so I'm going to talk about both of them. I could just ask Potted Plant which one he meant when he made the iceberg, but that would mean I only get to talk about one of these videos. So fuck it, we'll just do both. The first BHFS we have to talk about is a 37-second video uploaded by YouTube user Salik Ahmed in 2016. It's low quality and features Salik crying hysterically while filming what seems to be banknotes? Yeah, what the fuck? Apparently, this video was created in response to an action by the Indian government. In 2016, they randomly demonetized all 500 rupee and 1000 rupee banknotes, replaced by a new 500 rupee note and a new one for 2000 rupees. This was a crazy idea! What were they thinking? It was supposed to curb funding of illegal activity and terrorism, but all it did was disrupt the economy thanks to cash shortages. Imagine if you owned a business in America and the president was just like,
I was gonna
yeah, all $10 bills no longer work, starting right now. Like, what? This video is supposed to be satire of that announcement. He's holding some kind of ritual for his money, trying to bring it back to life from its illness. Considering all that, it's honestly a pretty funny video. What's less funny is the other BHFS, which is honestly, I'm like 99% sure the correct video I'm supposed to be talking about, considering its higher view count. I just wanted to get sidetracked for like a minute, sorry. Anyways, the other BHFS is a video uploaded in 2019 and is much shorter, being only 8 seconds long. We find ourselves in a herd of cows, randomly dead on the ground, and then a man in the background kicking and screaming and thrashing. And that's pretty much it. We have no context on who this guy is or what happened to these cows, but I think it's safe to assume that this guy was the owner. Given that information, and that this is most likely a poor country, or at least a poor part of the world, makes this video pretty heartbreaking. Those cows were probably his main source of income, and keeping them and selling their milk was probably his livelihood. So I can totally understand this guy's reaction. It's like coming home to see your house engulfed in flames. The worst part is that we have absolutely no context on this video. No clue where this is, who that guy is, or why the cows died. The latter could be attributed to cattle mutilation, a mysterious phenomenon that occurs around the world, where animals, usually cattle obviously, randomly die or have their body parts chopped off, like ears, eyeballs, tongues, or even genitals. This usually happens without any blood present at the scene. Theories for why this occurs vary heavily. Some attribute it to simply natural causes like disease, dehydration, parasites, insects, or vultures. Other people want you to think it's like the United States government covertly murdering cattle before they can spread diseases, or even the US government testing out secret biological weapons, which, of course, This video doesn't really seem like it takes place in the United States, so rule those out. Occasionally, people will go even further and say cattle mutilation is a result of satanic cults, cryptids, and even, of course, extraterrestrials. If you ever wondered why cows are so heavily associated with alien abductions in pop culture, then yeah, there you go. Whatever the case, I hope this guy is doing better now. People in the comments seem to like repeating that he died, but of course there's absolutely no source to that, so who knows. Donna.mpg, a video that inexplicably appeared on my computer after I found a diary at work and decided to upload some of the entries onto the web. I'm beginning to regret this decision. Read about the events leading to the upload here. There is currently no text in this page. Oh, deleted by the same moderator that deleted the Handsome Brian page. This video is pretty cool because I don't have epilepsy, but if I did, the iceberg would probably stop right now and you guys would never get to see the end of it. Because I'd be fucking dead, and the worst entry of all time would be what killed me. The last 15 seconds of this video are literally just black and white flashing on and off the screen in the harshest way possible. I was watching this in a dark room and I could literally like see the light and dark reflecting on the bridge of my nose. It doesn't even look cool. Like, if you're gonna give people seizures, at least make it look cool. Like Porygon. Porygon's badass. Project Zalgo is a channel with 4 videos on it, all of which were uploaded in late 2011. The first one, and probably my favorite one, is hecomes.avy. Like, okay. Next is the 2 that the iceberg specifically mentions, scar.avy and Kot.Avy, which are honestly a bit less interesting because they're less funny. They're both kinda just 15 seconds of creepy, low-quality videos. I feel like I need to reiterate that some of these creepypasta entries are probably a little more interesting on their own, but looking at them one by one after another, probably makes them all seem a lot shittier. I also feel like if these were all put into one compilation edit, they would go a lot harder. I hope it doesn't come across that I'm just making this video to shit on a bunch of creepy videos made by some 14-year-old who's now like 30 and pays their taxes and shit. I also hope it doesn't come across as me saying like, dude, fuck this iceberg, this shit sucks. Because honestly, I think parts of this iceberg weren't made for some dickhead on YouTube to just explain every single entry one by one, and instead just to archive some weird and obscure videos. Which I feel like icebergs were originally for that purpose, not these massive 30-part series explaining them. If there's anything I've learned throughout covering this iceberg, it's that Potted Plant clearly has a love for obscure, shoddily made horror videos. I mean, after all, he literally named his fucking cat after one. And I kind of find myself sharing that same soft spot, despite all the hating I do on that kind of stuff throughout this series. It's all love. Maybe iceberg explained videos in general just aren't the best way of engaging with the topic, but I don't know, I'll save those deep ruminations for the end. Part of me hopes you guys don't come out of this series with the mentality of, like, dude, fuck low-effort YouTube horror. Because even though these are pretty fun to poke fun of, admittedly, at the end of the day, these are all passion projects made by some kids who are bored and have unrestricted internet access. I can't say I didn't make similar shit back in my day, but who cares? I'm also not making these videos to tell you how to feel about the things I'm presenting, so you can walk out feeling whoever you want, I guess. I'm not like your fucking dad or something. At 4 seconds in, you can actually see a mangled dead body, which is actually from the Piranha movie, so yeah. See, this is the perfect example of what I mean. Mox is a channel on YouTube that, in 2015, uploaded a video called Bring Me the Boy. This video seems to be a movie clip with a heavy filter over it, and pretty much all the other videos uploaded by this channel are similar, with the final one depicting a woman being murdered. The channel eventually caught the attention of Scare Theater, who noticed that in the channel's discussion tab, Mox was having discussion in Latin with another user called Absentus Puer, which had no videos. What were they talking about? Well, they were talking about child trafficking. In YouTube comments, of course, like you do. In the next video Scare Theater upload, he got in contact with Absentis Puer.
And then I sent him a message back and said, "Ha, want to prove to me that you're real? When you kill your next victim, have them hanging upside down and slit their throat. Of course you need to record it too. Do all this exactly, then I might consider that you're real." He responded, he said, "Deal."
Jesus fucking Christ, okay. I'm not fucking around. The clip was actually from Hostel 2, a horror film released in 2007. I wish I wasn't so jaded from all these internet horror mysteries, because in this video, Scare Theater is like actually freaking out, thinking that a woman just died and her blood is on his hands.
So as you see that video, he did exactly what I said. So we know that he's not getting that clip from a movie, because he did exactly what I said. She was hanging upside down, and he slit her throat.
Of course it was fake. Scare Theater uploaded the third video, which actually included an interview with the girl behind both Mox and Absentis Puer. And it's kind of funny, because the interview is, like, really awkward.
Okay, I guess we're gonna start now. So, so you're Mox or Absentis Puer, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to all be on the record so people can finally stop bothering me about this. The videos were fake. They're taken from, like, movies and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay, how did you find the videos? Like, did you, like, already have movies ahead of time that you knew about, or did you just find these movies on the fly when people requested it?
I just went onto YouTube and typed in torture scenes and just got random ones.
Alright. So, why exactly did you do this in the first place? Like, I guess what made you start the whole Mox and Absentis Puer thing and do all that?
Because I was bored.
Alright, and then here's another question I had. Why did you use, like, what was it, Latin and German?
Because I didn't really have an exact storyline to whatever I was doing. So I figured if I put it in a different language, it wouldn't make sense anyway.
She doesn't give a fuck, dude. She's awesome. I hope every creepypasta video I've covered in this video is someone like this. Station.exe is another thing on this tier where the backstory is that it was found on a blank disk somewhere. However, this one is not actually a video, but a video game. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting that one. The game originates from an anonymous post to 4chan's X-Board around 2013. The poster talks about how his dad bought a pair of CDs at a computer expo in Rochester, New York. The first one was for some engineering software, but the other one was slipped in the case simply labeled Station. OP then posted a Mediafire link to the game, and it kinda sucks.
Why the fuck do I have to jump to go upstairs?
Basically, the whole point of the game is that you spawn in this featureless white facility, or I guess a station would be a more apt word to use. All you really do in this game is walk around. There's a pier, a road, and you can even go up to the second floor of the facility, but there's not much there. The audio is this Half-Life-ass ambient sound, and eventually the ambience will get louder and louder, and you'll start getting chased by these white spheres with faces. These spheres are faster than you, and if they touch you, the game crashes, so I guess that means you lost. That's pretty much all there was to be gained from this game, or at least that was until users found these coordinates on one of the walls written in the tiniest text in the world. Put that shit into Google Maps, and we find ourselves in a remote part of Siberia in Russia. More specifically, a bit north of the small town of Mirny, which is most well known for having this big-ass hole in the middle. You guys have seen this image, right? I've definitely seen this image when I was little, like, looking for biggest hole ever dug, because that's just the kind of shit I would look up when I had unrestricted internet access. Zooming in on satellite view, we can find a place that looks exactly like the place from Station.exe. There's the pier, there's the road, and of course there's the station. I don't see any giant fucking floating heads, but maybe that's just like seasonal or something. Clearly this is the start of an ARG, right? This is where someone would just go to the place and see what's up. Well, not only is this place in Russia, which is a country that is notoriously difficult to travel to, especially right now, and not only is it in a very remote part of Russia, and not only is the facility blocked off from public access, but also there's some weird shit going on in the abandoned mine that takes up a big chunk of the town. Helicopters aren't allowed to pass over it, and airplane travel is heavily regulated too. Probably some geothermal shit, I'd imagine. Apparently through data mining the game, people found another set of coordinates that again led to Russia, but this time in the middle of the woods. Also a website called semperprotonym.com, a website that seems to be just some guy's personal website, most of which is locked behind a password. 4chaners eventually discovered the password and found out that the site is filled with alien photos, old creepypasta images and sound files, stuff related to 4chan's weapons board K, and apparently a download to station.exe. Although, according to someone who claims to be the owner of the site, it's just a site for him to archive stuff he finds interesting. He changed the password and told everyone to fuck off. Apparently there wasn't even any evidence of it actually being in the game's code. It's kind of clear that there's not much to this mystery. Someone just found a random station of Rush on Google Maps satellite view and decided to make it in Blender and let people walk around it. Then they put some spooky enemies that kill you in it and posted to X with a generic "I found this on a mysterious disc or tape" or whatever the fuck story. This game probably only took a couple hours to make, and yet here we are still talking about it over a decade later. Sure, it's in tier 11 of 13 of the massive fucking stupidly long YouTube iceberg, which doesn't exactly indicate high amounts of fame or notoriety, but accomplished what it set out to do, I think. It managed to secure itself a spot on the Schizo Gaming chart, right there next to LSD Dream Emulator, and okay, can we fucking relax? Like, really? This is next to whatever. And of course, people still make videos about station.exe to this day, like me and all these other people.
What the fuck is this? What? 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 What the fuck?
And that's it for part 1 of tier 11 of the massive YouTube iceberg. This one's kind of funny, isn't it? When my eyes scanned over the entries for this tier and I saw those C tags, which denoted creepypastas, I knew I was going to be in for some horrible, horrible videos. Endearingly horrible, I might add. We're pretty much past the point where I'm talking about full-blown ARGs, which makes me happy because all of these entries require way less digging than your average ARG. I hope you're enjoying hearing me talk about low-view creepypasta slop as much as I'm enjoying researching it. Thank you to my supporters on Ko-fi and Patreon for supporting me, and thank you for watching. Join me next time when we finish up tier 11.